I was astonished as well how Lawrence tried to brush it aside yesterday, I think it was, saying, oh, well, you know, we're working really hard, was one of his comments, and there's an overall growth except for last year. Well, I mean, I would argue both of those. First of all, if they're working really hard, how on earth did they get an 8-9% reduction? Why are we so out of kilter with everybody else? It really won't do.
Is it, as it seemed in that report, that the numbers of people coming to the Isle of Man has dropped off drastically? I mean, 25,000 or something in that period. Are we reading that information correctly? Because obviously that's the headline that everyone's going with.
Yeah. What you've stated there, Paul, is the passenger survey results that have just recently been published. And the headline figure there, which you picked up on there, is with regards to the decrease in passenger visitors numbers here on the island.
By boat particularly, right?
Yeah, when you drill down to it, it looks like the numbers are more significant by boat rather than by air. But of course, that's just one stat where there's somewhat 20 different stats within that survey.
Well, basically the headline stuff is we are underperforming against England as far as we can tell. The trouble is England and the Isle of Man used roughly the same system up until 2015. Then England changed their primary curriculum. It's a lot stronger than ours now. They do long division and multiplication at primary level. They do relative clauses. They even do the subjunctive form in year 6, whereas we don't do anything like that. And England now assess their pupils using a different method. But up until 2015, we both used national curriculum levels. Now, the department may say our syllabus is different to theirs, but at the end of the day, Paul, 7 times 8 is 56.
So I wasn't expecting that report, and obviously as soon as it broke, and obviously the headline figure is that we've lost 25,000 visitors. It isn't as straightforward as just a straightforward 25,000 visitors. There's a lot more into this because you've got to break down the category of passenger.
Okay, but
we have a direct passengers, we have day visitors, we have business visitors, we have holiday makers that stay in accommodation, we have visitors that stay with family and friends. There's a lot more than just saying the headline is we've lost 25,000 visitors and the Isle of Man tourism is in a slump.
So here we are at the Villa Marina and we're having the grand opening. And there's no better person for the grand opening. Sorry, talking to the brewer of the special beer. Don, how are you?
Nice to see you, my boy.
Oh, good.
You have to do that. Okay, thank you.
Well, this man's making the news twice in one day. You're opening the Beer and Cider Festival.
Yes.
Camera event. And you're also debuted on the Isle of Man tourist commercial today.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Is it all right?
It's lovely, darling. It's such beautiful tones you make. But
too many bloody words, I'll tell you that.
Imagine a place shrouded by mystery, a sea-bound kingdom with its own captivating story to tell, a rich history that echoes through the ages. From the cries of the raven came the raiding hordes of Vikings, followed by raiders of a new kind, each leaving a legacy forever woven in the fabric of our folklore, driven by the independent spirit of our islanders and a lore that still lies on a hillside.
Started off like last year, me and Sam just us two coming down now and again and doing it, and it's grown to about 8 to 10 people now, and it's something to do on a nice Sunday morning throughout the lovely Manx weather throughout January, February, March. We've done it, so it's
Is it always cold though, Sam? I mean, like, it's cold, but is it get colder? Is that possible?
Yeah, there's colder weeks and fractionally less cold weeks, but I think it started like. We had a little ice bath behind the gym and it was snowing in about November-ish time. Was it November we had that first snowfall?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And just thought it'd be a good idea, why not challenge yourself a little bit. So we went out, sat in the ice bath that was outside the back of the gym with the snow around, and then it kind of just evolved from there. We kind of did them every few weeks and then decided we did the New Year's Day dip and then thought, okay, so every single week for the next year, do it.
I can't really take the credit for it. I'm just her owner. I'm kind of like her management. I don't really like to say internet sensation. It's not really a word I like to say out loud.
It's a bad word, isn't it? I know.
It's a bit like...
How do you describe it? You get traction from a lot of people.
A following, yeah. It's just weird. It's just one of those things that it's hard to describe. It's in the real world, like... on the Isle of Man, nothing really is that different. It's just when I click to go like online, it's just like, so it's quite hard to separate the two.
I mean, the news has just been breaking over the last couple of days that you're going to take this on because the Children's Centre, their lease is up, right?
I believe so, yeah. The lease ends at the end of April, so as of the 1st of May, we intend to take over the operation of the site. We would like to create this to become the island's premier wedding, events and conference centre, really. It's a fabulous setting. The gardens are gorgeous. It was built in the Victorian times, or designed in the Victorian times, and we just like to bring it up to scratch and get as much enthusiasm and enjoyment out of the site as we can.
I mean, the island is blessed with a very varied topography. You know, I mean, it can play various different places, but our aim in particular is to try and develop a pipeline of productions which certainly feature the Isle of Man, might be about the Isle of Man, might be set in the Isle of Man specifically, and some which aren't completely, which are completely unrelated.
It's a great example of why if you take one particular metric, you're not getting the full overview. You know, if you take one particular thing and if you don't really grasp what you're getting at, what you're looking at, then there's a danger in it.
What I'd like to see is them give it to the BBC for a number of reasons.
Go on then.
Well, first of all, the BBC, one of the world's biggest broadcasters, has the resources that Manx Radio could only ever dream about. And the fact that BBC Local Radio is undergoing a surge of investment at the moment, and of course if you look at BBC Local Radio and what it delivers, it's a very, very high quality product to local areas. It would be an absolute win-win for the Manx residents and also the content they produce.
It isn't a level playing field. I mean, one has to understand what this particular select committee is set up for, and the remit is quite clear that the government have reaffirmed their position with regard to funding public service broadcasting. What they want to look at is how it's delivered. So the discussion is not really about how Manx Radio is funded or run as a business, but how much money they receive in terms of public service broadcasting subvention, and is that fit for purpose, and is it spent wisely?
We at CALM feel that the bill has had so much debate, real sensible adult debate in the House of Keys already. They opened up the House of Keys to do a committee of the full House, brought over experts. So we really don't feel that when it goes to Legislative Council that they should need to form a committee. We feel that for them it should just be overseeing, scrutinising, making sure that it works from a legislative point of view, and then we hope that it will be voted through and become law.